welcome back to the channel. Jad here. We are at Monza. This is just a quick update as I am falling behind dramatically with these video updates. Still learning how to do video editing, and as I get better I should get a little bit quicker at releasing these out, but I am like a week behind now, so just a quick update so I can try and catch up as we are heading pretty close to the end of the manufacturer series for this year. So what you're looking at here is a race at Monza in a lobby, which I did just before the actual manufacturer race at 12:40. I missed out on the first two manufacturer rounds as I was out. So coming home I thought I needed some practice, and I found a lobby about half an hour before the actual race, so I thought I'll jump in and that'll be some good practice. And I'm thankful for that because I learnt a bit more about this track than I had learnt the entire week of practicing this track. Because this is the first time I played Monza since probably maybe Gran Turismo 2, if it was in there, or if it wasn't in there, then it would have been probably Grand Prix Legends on the PC, which is like a really old version of Monza. So learning this track in GT Sport is like learning a new track, really. And even though I know the track, I don't know the track, if that makes sense. So one of the troubles I have with this track is the very last corner, the long right-hand stretch, because it's really hard to find where the apex is, and it always annoyed me with those kind of corners. So with this lobby, I basically took the opportunity to keep working on that corner, but in a scenario that is as close as possible to the actual manufacturer race. So eventually I actually worked out the best way to take this corner. Well, maybe not the best way to take the corner, but the best way in this scenario where you've got tyre wear and in this particular car. So braking about the 100 mark, I would cut into the corner in fourth and then try and hug that right side, and depending on what the car does at that point, which depends on the tyre wear, if it starts to slide out to the left, then immediately I'll drop down to third and then floor it, and it seemed to work every time, and I would come out of that corner quicker than most people on the track. What I liked about that was that it was easy to do and reliable, so I could trust it every corner, as opposed to before learning this, I would always come to that corner worried about how it was going to go, what's going to happen this time. So I ended up coming first in this lobby race due to learning how to do this corner properly. And talk about doing your homework at the last minute, nothing changed for me since high school. And so we moved pretty much straight from this race. I exited the lobby and went straight into the manufacturer race. So qualifying in P2, I came into this race a lot more relaxed than normal, and I think it's due to the lobby right before this race. So I might look at creating a lobby half an hour before the actual race, as it's a good setup. So coming in 5 on the door, P2, we get a really good takeoff from the start, and better than the Mercedes in front, which I was surprised at. So either the Corvette is quicker off the mark, or this guy in the yellow Mercedes struggled a bit. So coming up to this corner, overtaking around this corner is kind of difficult because you can end up in the sand really easily, but I'd just gotten in front of him just enough to cut in front of him and take that corner as I would if there was no car there at all. But however, coming into this lovely chicane, he struggled to brake, probably locked up and sent me off into the shadow realm. Luckily the game resets at this point, resets the car, so I managed to recover a little bit easier than getting a penalty myself for being forced to cut that corner. He ends up getting a penalty himself for doing that, and looking at the replay, I don't think he intended to do that at all. So after a few other cars crash themselves or struggle, I end up a little bit closer to where I was in first place. So skipping forward to the penalty line here, where I defy all physics in the game and hit a ghost car. How does that work? Anyway, didn't get a penalty, but I did get an SR down. Okay. So using my awesome new braking skill around this corner, I cut into it with the fresh tyres and can stay in fourth and overtake P3 and finish the lap in a much better position than I thought I would, considering what happened on that first chicane. And skipping ahead to the beginning of lap 3, we gain on P2 and overtake nicely into the first long corner, which can be taken at full acceleration. Coming into this chicane, always with trepidation, as we watch our rear view mirror to see what's going to happen, and no, we're all good. Getting into the slipstream at the beginning of lap 4, we overtake P1 to gain our preferred position back, being P1. Most people prefer to come first in these things. I am no different. And in any case, it doesn't last that long as we come up to this lovely chicane, which I take terribly, and P2 gains P1 back quite easily. Braked a little too early and giving up P2 with P3 right on my tail, looking to take my position. These next two corners on fresh tyres, I will remain in fourth just to preserve the tyre, and if you do it well, you will come out of that corner faster than if you were in third. It is a little bit sketchy, depending on the tyre wear, so as the tyre wears I will drop to third, but where I can remain in fourth, and as you'll see I gain P1 back by taking that corner in fourth. So back in P1 for the next 7 laps, where I pitted at the end of lap 10, and as I come out of the pits, P2 flies on by. But I'm not too worried as I have a fresh cut of tyres, and I assume he's either going to need to pit or he's going to struggle. So we press on and eventually catch up to him by the end of the lap, and on this last corner we take our newly learned skills and cut into the corner with a fresh cut and stay in fourth to pick up his slipstream and see if we can overtake. So we stuck to the strategy that we'd planned earlier in the week, and that was basically to pit at around lap 10 depending on the tyres. Just a 1 pit stop and then put the softs on for the last stretch, and all worked quite well, both in the lobbies and in the actual race you see before you. So as we skip ahead to cross the finish line in first, P2 struggled on those tyres to keep up, and we got a pretty comfortable win. So we come in with a whopping 61 points. Yes. How does that feel? That's worth clapping. That's worth clapping about, apparently. Yep. Brilliant. Well done. Kodak moment. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, as always, subscribe. If you don't, then don't. Thanks for watching. Till next time.